Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Reframeable podcast, the podcast that brings you people's stories and ideas about how we can work to reframe our relationship, not just with alcohol, but with stress, anxiety, relationships, enjoyment, and so much more. Because changing our relationship with alcohol is about so much more than changing the contents of our glass. This podcast is brought to you by the Reframe app. Reframe is the #1 iOS and Android app to help you cut back or quit drinking alcohol. It uses neuroscience to reframe your relationship with alcohol and unlock the healthiest, happiest you. My name is Kevin Bellack. I'm a certified professional recovery coach and the head of coaching at the Reframe app.
And I'm Emma Simmons, a reframer, a certified life coach, and a Thrive coach with Reframe. Welcome, friends. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We thought we would do a little bit of a Ask Me Anything kind of thing. So we've compiled some questions from reframers and we're going to answer some questions. We haven't necessarily proofread these or checked these out prior to recording, so this could be fun. But I think it could be a fun thing to do semi-regularly every few months maybe. So if you've got questions, if you're listening or watching and you've got questions, feel free to email them into podcast@reframeapp.com and we can answer some questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be about drinking or alcohol. It can be about Kevin and I ourselves, our opinions, our thoughts.
Everything you want to know about us, because yes, that is what everybody is. I mean, I erased all of the thousands of questions that we got in the mailbag from
deep, intimate questions about you personally. You deleted them.
About both of us, yeah.
Okay.
That's what everybody wanted to know. But I'm like, no, we're going to keep it focused on...
Everyone wants to know what my hair routine is. For those of you that are not watching, it is, well, we started recording at 7:30 a.m. I rolled out of bed, put on a headset, made coffee, put on a headset, jumped on the recording.
And then an hour later, we're here. And then an hour later, we actually started the podcast.
Kevin and I have been talking shit for an hour. Oh, ADHD at its finest. Actually, Kevin, I took my meds whilst on video with Kevin. Yeah. I guess a little reminder. I figured
it was good to delay it a little bit, just to.
We needed to
boot up. We needed to boot up Emma. Is that bad? Is that not a good way to say that?
I get it though. We needed the brain to kick in. Oh yeah. We needed to warm up the engine a little bit.
Yeah, for myself in the morning. Yeah, there's that. There's a process involved. That process is not rolling out of bed and jumping on a podcast.
Trying to talk straight away, trying to use the words. The brain, the mouth does not connect necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are. Feel free to ask us anything in the future. How are we going to do this? Do you want me to just fire questions at you?
Yeah, we can just throw them out. We compiled the questions that we got and I would say summarized and pulled some specific ones out because there was a lot of themes from all of the questions. So there's some questions that were definitely more popular and more important than, not more important than others. That sounds bad. All questions are important. What is it?
There are no dumb questions.
No, but there are definitely popular
repetitive
themes. Yeah.
Questions that get asked by lots of different people, lots of different types.
Yeah.
So we can go through
different ways. So yeah, do we want to just jump into the
questions.
Hot topic? That's what should we call that? Is that what we should call this episode? Hot topics.
Hot topics. All right, hot topic. The top hot topic. The #1 hot topic. When will I stop thinking about alcohol or get over missing it?
Yeah. And there's a lot around this too, around cravings. Is it normal that they're still here? There's not a lot. We don't want to pull too much specifics or not context, but too many specifics in from specific questions. But it's over a long period of time. Is it normal to still have cravings? Will it ever feel normal to go socialize or be around others who are drinking? Will it feel normal? Is it okay? All those types of things. I don't know. Let's just get this out of the way first, because the disclaimer is out of the way, because probably all of the things that we talk about today are going to
be prefaced with,
it depends.
Everyone's journey is unique to you.
It's different. Yeah. It's unique to you. Comparison is not only the thief of joy, but it's also just it's not ever a good thing to do, because we're not comparing apples to apples, as my boss would always throw in. But we're not comparing the same thing. Even if I'm on the same, even if Em and I were, I don't know, the same day count, that doesn't mean that I didn't start like way before her or way after her, or how many attempts we had, or what led us to here, and
what work we're doing
all
behind
our
the scenes.
Factors. Yeah. All the factors.
One of us could be in therapy, the other one couldn't. One of us could be having medical assistance, the other one not. There are so many different factors. So full disclaimer for every answer, I guess. Everyone's journey is unique to them. But all are welcome here. As we say in our meeting script.
Yes.
Before every meeting. I think will it ever feel normal? I think it's a new kind of normal. I don't think we ever go back to that feeling of socializing. I don't think when I go out and socialize now, I don't think I feel the same as I used to before I was drinking. Because I think when I was drinking, when I would go out and socialize, I had a lot of anxiety. And so I was nervous about going out and socializing. And there was a lot of pre-thought going into getting ready. What am I going to wear? Who's going to be there? Who am I going to talk to? What am I going to do? What's the event? So there's this whole anxiety spiral in my head before I even left the house. But now it's, oh shit, I've got an event. Okay, I'd better get ready and off I go. And so there's that anxiety spiral isn't, I'll be like, oh, I wonder who's going to be there. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if jeans are appropriate for a black tie event. They're not, for anyone asking. So there's a little bit of like curiosity, but it's not the same.
Do you wear them anyway?
I have a black tie event coming up for husband's annual awards thing that we go to. It's black tie every year. And I buy a new dress every year and I try and one up myself every year. But this year I was like, because I got cowboy boots, authentic cowboy boots when I was in Montana, like made in the 70s, actual suede. They're gorgeous. And I was like, can I wear cowboy boots to a black tie event?
How can I make this happen?
How can I make this work? The resounding answer was no, Emma, cowboy boots and not black tie.
Probably not in New Zealand, maybe in Montana.
Maybe
or Texas,
in Montana you could pull it off.
Yeah.
Anyways. Tangent number 1. Yay! Well done. We've got 5 minutes in.
Not even. Say, how do we go from when will I stop thinking about alcohol to cowboy boots?
Yeah. So there's still like I think about the event and I think about what I'm doing, where I'm going, but there's not that anxiety spiral. So straight off the bat, will it ever feel normal? My normal is different now. My normal is not a huge amount of anxiety and stress and worry and feeling like I need to have a drink to calm that down, to calm my brain down. My normal is, okay, let's go do this. Or my normal is preparing for the event, going, oh yeah, I'll go to this event. I don't know who's going to be there. It could be a bit lame. It could be boring. So I'll stay for an hour and then I'll come home. So I'm pre-preparing those tools in my head that we talk about early on in the journey of go with a plan, go with a drink in your hand, know what your exit strategy is, know how long you're going to stay. But I'm not consciously thinking about, okay, I need to have my plan. It's just, it's a natural. My new normal is like to have a plan. We're like, I'll go for an hour. I'll see what's happening. I'll drive there. I'll park here. I'll blah, blah, blah. So it's a different normal. It's a new normal. It's better normal.
And that's, I think, the key word there, I think, is normal, right? And it's normal to, let's just assume that it's normal that in most situations that we get into, we have alcohol present. There is alcohol present when we're thinking about this question. And it's different in the beginning, and that's uncomfortable. It's not normal for us when we're cutting back, when we're quitting and removing it, reducing it, stopping, when other people aren't. That whatever it is, it's not normal until it is. And that's not to say that I do think that it will become more normal over time is the answer for however it's showing up, whether it's just I'm home and I'm thinking about it all the time, or I'm out with other people. But the problem is we have to make it more normal. If we surround ourselves maybe in the same scenarios that we were drinking in before over and over again, we don't change anything except remove the alcohol, that could be, will it ever feel normal without alcohol? Or will I stop thinking about it then? Maybe not, right? Because you didn't change anything. So therefore, it's if you don't change the main issue or the main activity that might revolve around alcohol in some way. And whether that's just going for a shorter period of time, doing it differently with different people, like going to different places. But yeah, if something has to change. But all of that goes into, I've heard of people talk about friends of theirs who were like alcohol free for 2 years, and then they ended up going back to drinking because they were like, this is boring. And my question to them was like,
Interesting.
are they
What were you
boring?
doing?
Yeah, because that's the thing. I'm like, if I hear that and I just think, okay, so either they were doing the same, and again, I have no context here. This is second hand. And if you're doing the same thing but without alcohol, yes, that can be boring. If you're not doing anything fun and not drinking, then yeah, it's boring. It's a you problem, not that alcohol is going to make it fun again. It's that you just didn't find anything fun to do. I know we got off on a tangent. It's not necessarily the case about boring and fun and normal and all that, but it all relates, I think, as far as things change when we start to do things a little bit differently and show up in those different ways. Because yeah, now, like you said about thinking about going out and that, I don't think about it at all. Yeah, I think about the event. And do I really want to go to this? Or, ugh, what are you making me go to? Type of thing. But I don't sit there and do what I did in the beginning, which was go through the list of, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? Who's going to be there? What
Do
am
I
I
need
going to
to preload?
say?
Yeah.
Are you talking about drinking? I was like, whenever I was stopping drinking.
Oh, okay.
No, because whenever I was drinking, I didn't
Oh, you didn't?
necessarily worry
Interesting.
because I knew alcohol was there and I would just get a drink.
Yeah.
So
But
I
yeah,
knew
right,
what I was going to do.
when we're in the cutting back with the newbie sobriety phase where you're like, what am I going to say? How am I going to make small talk? Who's going to be there? What am I going to do? Is there going to be food there? What am I going to drink? Yeah.
And now, but you do that. I don't even think about that anymore because I realized a long time ago that once I got comfortable with what I was doing, which took time, it was a lot of these questions like how to get over the nostalgia for fun times when we were drinking. And that's what I say. I had fun when I was drinking. I have nostalgia for different things with alcohol, but I try and just take that as okay. I try and look at the whole picture as far as that. Yeah, I can have that nostalgia. I can miss that and still realize that I don't want to. I don't have. I can see all the other stuff that was involved and see where I'm at now or where I was at then when I was starting, that it was better.
See, I can remember, so one time, might have been my birthday, one of my birthdays, me and the neighbours, the Ride or Dies, we went on a triple date night. Went and played mini golf in the city. There's this cool mini golf bar in Auckland that does really cool cocktails. And then we went out for dumplings. I don't know, we preloaded and it was a big night. And 6 drunk, well over 30-year-olds running around Auckland CBD playing The Floor is Lava. Great time. Hilarious. Resulted in me climbing a pole, like a street sign pole, and having fun on that pole. Great time. Absolutely hilarious. So that's
so many questions.
And you're not surprised that I did any of this?
No.
I can assume no.
No. I was just thinking of maybe how much better you would be at The Floor is Lava sober.
I know, right? Okay, so that's where I'm going. But so when I think about that, like we had a hilarious time. It was a great time. That isolate that moment. It was fun. It was hilarious. We had a great time out with our friends, without the kids. Great time. Extrapolate that out to Emma was not functioning the next day. Emma had many bruises the next day on her body. Yeah. My mental health, not just that week, but that year, those 5 years, was in the gutter. Extrapolated out. Yes, that was fun, but there were consequences that were not worth that fun. Now, if I went out into the city this weekend with my neighbours and triple date night, played mini golf, stayed sober, would I still play The Floor is Lava? Absolutely. Completely sober.
Yeah.
Would I climb a pole? Probably. Would I get injured? Maybe. But so I can still do all of those things that I found fun or enjoyable with alcohol, I can still do them alcohol-free and still have fun. So it wasn't the alcohol that was making it fun. It's my creative brain and what I find fun.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, not drinking's, it's no fun when you're not drinking, I'm like, but what are you doing then? I'm having so much more fun living my sober life, getting creative, and I don't need alcohol to do weird shit and have fun and make up games and
Exactly. I love
play
that.
the floor is lava.
Yeah. I don't need alcohol to do weird shit and have fun and play the floor is lava. Exactly. And yeah, because you're going to have, yeah, because some people might need that. And that can be the potential issue. But no, that's great. And I was just thinking, yeah, the chances maybe now are less that you would end up with a injury. But yeah, I've heard of plenty of people with, injured, broken bones and chipped teeth and all kinds of stuff that if you're playing the floor is lava in a city and hop up on something, yeah, that it wouldn't end well.
It was hilarious, but it was a good time. I still have all my teeth, so that's great.
Yeah.
They're all mine.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I probably still would end up with bruises because I seriously miscalculate how strong I am or like how coordinated I am often.
Yeah.
I fell off a box jump at the gym, completely sober, obviously. This was only a few months ago. Broke my tailbone. Didn't need alcohol to injure myself there.
Yeah. That's why you signed the waiver of the gym for the box jump. I mean, you've seen the videos, right? I used to have one of those. I remember I basically scraped all. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was thinking of my shins.
Oh, you scraped down your shins because you missed the jump. Yeah.
Oof.
I have many a memory of coming home and putting frozen peas on my, just like sitting by the freezer, being like, I made a mistake.
Yeah. And the question, I made a terrible mistake. Usually that's the thought, like when you're in mid jump and you realize
You're
what
like,
you're missing or not going to land it, and you're like, that's where it pauses. And this is the part of the story where Emma realizes that she made a horrible mistake.
Yep. But do I get back up and try again? Hell yeah, I do. Do I make a mistake again? Yeah. Emma's a slow learner.
We all are slow learners. I think that plays in well with all of this. We think I can just do whatever. I can pick it up fast. I can just do it. We're all slow learners. One of the questions too was on, will I ever get past like the grief of never drinking again? So there's like the nostalgia of we missed this, but then there's also the grief of the mourning of maybe a loss of this. I called it in the past like the loss of a friend, the loss of an identity. It can become part of who we are, not like who we are necessarily. It can be, but it can become definitely part of who we are. And I'll just point everybody to a previous episode of the Reframeable podcast where I talked with Gina Maffa, who's a grief therapist, grief counselor. And that's exactly what we talked about, is that mourning, that loss of identity or just of maybe who we are or what, of that past self, and how to work through that a little bit. I'll have that in our show notes. But we'll ever get past the grief. And I think it's good to look at it like that and process it like that and understand that there will be denial. There will be bargaining. There will be, it's one of the 5 stages: anger, depression, and I think acceptance.
The last one. Yeah.
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 And
I think
it's not linear.
Yeah. I think you do. You get to a point of acceptance of, if you choose to be alcohol free forever, and forever is a really big concept. I tell people a lot that my idea is forever for now. I'm okay with forever for now because that's where I'm at and I'm really happy with who I am alcohol free and how my life is going. But there was definitely, I've told the story loads, a moment where I was like on the bathroom floor crying, sobbing, angry crying because I was never going to drink again. And I was really grieving that, like, it had just sunk in and clicked that I was never going to drink again. And that was a real moment for me, but it felt cathartic, like I was getting out that grief of I'm never going to drink again, because I knew that's what's best for me. And it was like this realization of I'm not just cutting back or trying to do a reset. This is forever. This is who I want to be, even though that's scary and hurtful and and I was grieving it. Yeah, you move through the motions of grief, yeah, and you come to acceptance, and you're like, yeah, maybe it's sad that I can't drink normally, whatever that is, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Do you ever get past the grief? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like we prefaced everything. You can, but that everybody's different, right? Because you could say people mourning and grief with loss of a loved one or something like that may never get over it, right? So you may never get over it because maybe you're stuck in those loops. And that's where, if it is something that's stronger, like that's where talking with people, with whether it's in a community like Reframe, or another community, a meeting with a therapist, with a coach, with somebody who you could just at least bounce some of these questions off of and think through it a little bit differently when you feel stuck. Because it is, you can get stuck.
I think there are definitely days or weeks or maybe months where you feel like you're fine and you're not grieving alcohol, and then you'll go back and you'll be in this period of grief or of nostalgia or whatever it is. Yeah, and you can be fine for a long time, and then you can be not so fine, and you'll come back up eventually if you put in the work and you talk about it and you process it. As if I guess if you get stuck and let it be stuck, that it kind of festers.
Yeah.
I
remember thinking in my head, being angry while I was around other people, or just at home being like, why the fuck am I the only one that has to do this here? Everybody else can do this and be fine with it. And I tried to play that tape forward, was one of the things that I did, where I was like, okay, but who cares about everybody else? They don't wake up with your hangover. They don't wake up. And yes, I could look at the negatives about it and say, oh, they don't wake up with my hangover. They don't wake up with this, or they wouldn't go home and keep drinking. Maybe they wouldn't. But playing that tape forward about how it showed up for me, and then how is it now? And that can be a tricky thing, because maybe we aren't feeling it right now. Maybe we're not like, oh, but look at all these positives that I can look at. But I think it is important to call those out along the way, the positives, because that we are seeing, and write them down and revisit them and talk about them, because otherwise it can be easy to forget about all that and just focus on the grief, the anger, the depression, and not move past it. But look for what good is coming out of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, don't get stuck in the negative. Focus on the changes and the positive things that are happening. Focus on the new normal.
Yeah. And this came up a lot this week too, with that two things can live in the same place at once, right? I can be upset at one thing or about this, and also see the positive and feel good about what I'm doing. Remember that. Like, it's not all when you're feeling bad about that. Remember that there's other good things that are happening. I don't know. That's a practice that can be difficult, but I think it's important to call that out. That's where, like, doing different things each day, looking for gratitude in your day. And when you start looking for gratitude, things to be grateful for, what made me smile this week? That was one of the things I put in the journal prompt for our meeting yesterday, just to reword the whole grateful thing. What made me smile this week? And when you look for those and you make that a part of your day, then part of your day becomes, like, to write that down or to think about that. Part of your day then becomes looking for that. Ooh, I got to write that down later. Ooh, I'm going to remember that. We start to look for the things that we focus on.
It's about making that neuro pathway a well-trodden path. Trodden path. That's correct English, isn't it? Sure.
Yeah.
We'll let that fly, Emma.
Trodden, yeah.
Trodden.
No.
Tread.
I feel like I need to recite the road not taken by Robert Frost to figure this out, but
yeah, it's about embedding that new neural pathway of looking for the positive, or looking for the looking for the gratitudes, looking for the things that are good. And I think about that, circling back to the first question, was when will I stop thinking about alcohol? It's I think it's one of those things where you do think about you've got to work the tools so hard in the beginning, and you've got to consciously work them and put them in place about thinking about how I'm not going to drink alcohol or how I'm going to cut back today. And you need to actively do it. And then eventually you've done it so many times that it becomes the norm. It becomes this well-trodden neural pathway in your brain. And you'll be standing there one day and go, I haven't thought about alcohol today. Or I can't remember the last time I thought about having a drink, because you've embedded that neural pathway for so long that this is what we do now. We don't get home from work and immediately open a bottle of whatever. We get home from work, we do some yoga, we have a soda water, whatever it is. We've got this new path now, this new habit that we do.
Yeah.
So it's not, you can't ever say at 3 months you will never think about alcohol again. It's not. No. I still rarely, but sometimes it'll be like, could murder a glass of wine right now. But it's pretty rare these days. Yeah. But it still pops up every now and then, and I go, wow, okay, interesting. What's happening? Why is Emma stressed out?
Yeah, exactly. It definitely is that alarm bell or whatever that, like, why did I just think of that? Okay.
Warning sign.
What was I just going to mention there? You had it. I lost it. Oh, I love that you brought up that I didn't think about alcohol for a while. I don't remember what day it was, or it was early on. And I remember it was a Friday and it was 8:00. And I thought about alcohol, and it hit me that I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about alcohol since I got home at 5. And that was like one of those, people talk about the number of drinks they've reduced, the percentages, the number of days alcohol free and things like that they track. But I always like looking for those firsts like that, whether it's like the first concert that I didn't drink at or whatever, but just even that, like first hangover free Saturday, but like stuff like where I didn't think about alcohol until now. And now it brought up, I'm not going to drink now. That was a big win.
You're like, oh, wow. I got home from work and I didn't immediately go have to work my tools. I got home from work and I didn't immediately think about where's the fridge, where's the beer. Yeah.
And that was probably in my first 2 months working on them, and not even like in my current streak of days. And then 14 months alcohol free. I know it was the summer, COVID was going on, and working from home, and it was a Friday, and came up from the basement. I was like a troll coming up from the basement where I'm in my office. And I was like, it's Friday, it's nice out, I'm going to sit on the deck, I'm going to get a nice coffee. And I just felt good, relaxed, all that. And I grabbed one of my glasses that was one I would use for drinks in the past, but that wasn't it. And then I went and got ice. I got my iced coffee out of the fridge. It was a can. And then I got some ice and I put the ice in the glass. And the sound of the ice hitting the glass, which happened so many times before this in the last 14 months, I froze. And my mind immediately went to, do we have anything to drink in the house? And I was like, holy shit, what just happened? Because I'm like, I'm 14 months. I'm never going to feel like this again. I'm never going to have that craving again. And even my wife, who's working upstairs in this room right here, actually, and she yelled down, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, why do you ask me that? She's like, because I heard the ice hit and it reminded me of, not that she thought I was downstairs drinking, but it even reminded her. So it must have hit just right, because
must have had that perfect little clink.
Yeah. And what I realized was what I deduced was that it was, I've had plenty of Fridays where I didn't think about it before that, but it was the setting. It was summer, end of a work week. I was like done early on a Friday and going to go outside and sit. And it was all of that kind of that neural pathway, while it's well worn over here in this other new well-trodden path. That old path is still there. It's still it's covered over in that, but it can still be there and still kind of show up every once in a while, because that memory, whatever memory it is, can pop up. It can happen. Now I froze. Okay, I took a breath. My wife said that. I'm like, yeah. And I poured my iced coffee. I went outside and I was fine. But,
but it was that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's just something that's always stuck with me. And I remember vividly how intense that craving got in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be so far along in your journey and still, there are those moments where you're like, what the hell? And it's a moment. And I think it's, I don't know, we're so used to telling people to be curious about it, reflect on it. Maybe don't dwell on it, but just be like, wow, that was, interesting. You've obviously reflected on it and gone like it was the perfect storm of summer, finished work early, yada, yada, yada. There was these key things that all added up to that spark of a craving. Yeah. So get curious about it if those things do hit, if you are quite far down the journey, even if you're not, like when you're in the beginning of the journey and you're getting this craving. Okay, so what's going on? What is it? Is it habit? Is it stress? Is it the time of day? Is it apply your halt? Am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired? Yeah, get curious about it. If you don't know where the craving is coming from or where that trigger is coming from, it's hard to change it or navigate away from it.
Yeah. And that kind of goes along with one of the questions too about, I'm fine all day, but cravings hit me at 5 p.m. Help. It's okay.
That witching hour.
Yeah. What happens if 5 p.m.? Sorry, I think I said 5 a.m. But 5 p.m. So it's okay. What can you change there? How can you?
Yeah. What is it?
Shift the track to something else. How can you?
Is it that I've just finished work? Is it?
Yeah.
I've got to be in the kitchen and cook dinner. Is it I deserve a treat? Is it for me, it was all of the above. It was, I've just finished work. I need a treat. I've got to cook dinner. How am I going to get through it? I'll have a drink to help me get through it. Yeah. So what did I change? My treat was a non-alcoholic treat, some kind of alcohol-free beer or alcohol-free mocktail in a can. Sometimes, and I would get myself out of the kitchen. I would either have pre-prepared dinner or now we do food boxes. They were great as well. So it's like paint by numbers cooking. So good. Love them. Sometimes it was breakfast for dinner. So my kids can quite easily make themselves toast or cereal. Or it was leftovers, something I had in the freezer. Or it was, husband, you're on dinner. I'm going to retreat to the bedroom with my mocktail and just getting out of the kitchen. So it was, being aware of what those triggers were for that witching hour and removing them or mitigating them.
Yeah, like this past
navigating
week,
away from them.
I cooked a bunch of stuff on the grill, like meat wise for the week, and then it was salad kits and steam fresh bags with pick your meat, pick your protein to put on it. But yeah, it's super simple. And again, it's not like it's always with any of that stuff. I know some people can get stuck in, I know I did, I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life. No.
Yeah.
But for now.
Just for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you feel strong enough or confident enough that you can get back into the kitchen or you can. I still hate cooking. That hasn't changed. That'll never change. I'm a terrible cook. But I hate it. It's not something I want to work on. It's not something I want to improve. It's not a hobby. It's a necessity. Family got to eat. But yeah, I'm back in the kitchen cooking each night. But although, to be fair, we've got food boxes now because I hate cooking. That was a huge stress for me every week of what are we going to eat, what I'm going to buy at the supermarket. So I took away that stress. We get a food box. Is it cheating? Maybe, but it works. I did think, like, my eldest is 16. She's going to be heading out to uni in a couple of years, maybe moving away from home to go to university. I don't know if she knows how to cook. If it's not cook by numbers, like paint by numbers from a food box, this could be interesting. I think when I grew up with mum and dad cooking, and so I learnt to cook from watching mum and dad cook. So,
yeah, I'm getting some of Avery's experiments now, which are good. So if she made me avocado toast the one day. I'm like, okay, good. This week, yesterday, I think she made me she wanted to try making some eggs. She didn't spray the pan. So when I went down the one point, she doesn't come off. She said it's a nonstick pan. I'm like, you still need to spray something on it. But she made a easy over whatever, egg over easy, whatever, with some other stuff she put on toasted sourdough bread with some cheese and gave it to me.
Delicious.
And I'm like, this is amazing.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Although I did get the first one. That was the test one.
Yeah.
And some of the other questions later on, which I'm not sure if we're going to get to or not, but I'll just throw this in. Some of the questions are, why do I crave sugar so much now? I'm replacing booze with food and gaining weight, those types of things, and going along with the halt and the cooking and those types of that type of solution. We will crave. Most people, I'll say, again, I don't want to be definitive, most people crave sugar more because you remove the alcohol, you remove that carbohydrate, that thing that gets metabolized in your body as sugar, and it's going to make you crave it more, and that over time should subside. I'm going on 6 years and it hasn't. No, I've always been had a sugar monster. This week I killed all the fruit that we bought at Costco this week, and so I've been so far so good this week. But so solutions like that could come in, but also eat the ice cream. Like, again, it's
if it's going to get you through.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinions perhaps on this. I'm of the type of I'll focus on that later, and that's what I did. I'm like, I'm not focusing on anything I eat, any movement. I'm focusing on however I'm focusing on alcohol at the time was cutting back, maybe stopping for a little while and going back and forth with that. And eventually I did stop, go alcohol free indefinitely at the time. I didn't know what I was doing as far as how long that was going to be. But then months later, I was like, I just got past a big project or whatever and feeling like I can tackle something else. I'm like, let's focus on how I eat and let's do that. And then a month later, I was like, all right, let's move a little bit more. But I felt ready to do it then. Whereas before I ate the Swedish fish.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning, one of my reasons for being alcohol free, I wanted abs and I wanted to lose some weight. Before I got sober, I'd had COVID a couple of times and had long COVID, so I was struggling to even walk up a flight of stairs. I'd have to sit down and catch my breath, and it was horrible. It was like breathing through a straw, or like breathing like I had a rubber band around my lungs. So I hadn't been exercising. I'd still been drinking a lot and eating a lot, and so I'd gained quite a bit of weight. And not that weight gain, I wasn't comfortable in my body. None of my clothes fit well. Yeah. And so I wanted to lose weight and get healthy for me. And so I was like, I'll quit drinking. That'll do it. It didn't, because when I quit drinking, I got a sugar addiction, sugar and caffeine. And so for quite a long time, a lot of people will say, give up alcohol and you'll lose weight. Not immediately, not for some of us. So unfortunately, that didn't happen for me. But I gained so much more than weight loss. And now it's now I'm okay. Now I'm good. I've got abs and I'm fitting my clothes and everything, and I'm much healthier. But for the first good 6 months, there was not a heck of a lot of reduction in the weight.
Yeah. And I don't think it can happen, just like sleep. I'm sleeping so much better. There's plenty of people out there. My sleep is still horrible and worse. And that's something that you're challenged with and working through. But I think focusing on the health part, you were throwing that in about that, right? Because I want to be healthy.
Let's get specific on what does healthy look like to you?
Or feel like, Are you asking me or are you?
No, that's what I would say. If someone, you can, what does healthy look like to you? Go on. This isn't ask me anything. What does healthy look like to you?
Trying to think of the funniest answer. I was going to be like, all of this right here. No, I don't think healthy looks like anything. How's that?
Nice. How does it feel?
Exactly. I think healthy is more of like how we feel. And right now, I would say personally, like I haven't been feeling healthy lately. And that's based on various reasons that are food and movement related and not food and movement related. Just like things that just been going on and all that. So that's vague. I'm not getting any specifics because I don't think it's important. I think it is everybody's individual thought on how that feels for them. But Yeah, it's not a one-to-one relationship. I'm going to stop drinking and I'm going to get better sleep, or I'm going to lose weight, or because we have those calories that we ingested with alcohol. So are you replacing them with something else, or were those extra already and you are losing weight because you just didn't replace them with anything? Does that still feel healthy? You can be, it just goes back to, I think, what does that mean for each individual person?
Yeah, I was thinking, I made you answer that question, and then I was like, shit, I'd better think about that as well. I'd say I'm probably, at the moment, I feel 80% healthy. Like I'm definitely not at my prime. There's definitely some room for movement. I'm feeling really good. But lately, my sleep routine's been a bit shite. Been scrolling a little bit too much. Haven't been reading my book. My sleep routine is, turn off devices, brush my teeth, get into my jammies, get into bed, and read for half an hour, and read till I fall asleep, pretty much. And then often put on a sleep meditation or sleep something to help me drift off. And I haven't been doing that. So I think my sleep, and when you're not sleeping well, I wake up tired. I'm still going to the gym, but I'm perhaps not working out as hard as I am, or my body's not recovering as well as it could. My food's been pretty good. My mental health's been good. But yeah, that sleep routine's needs a little kick in the pants. Needs a bit of a stiff uppercut. And I'm aware of that. Sometimes I think you need someone else to give you that stiff uppercut and be like, why are you on your phone at 10 o'clock at night? Oh, yeah, shit. Okay. I'll put it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think for me, I feel 80% healthy, but there's room for improvement. But then I don't think you can ever be 100% nailing every aspect of your life at all times. There's always got to be something that
And that's,
you're letting slide.
I was going to bring that up too, because just you going through that thought process there, there is so much involved in our life, right? As far as our routines and what we get in a rut with, what we get stuck in that habitual kind of routine of whether it's 5 o'clock getting something to drink, or me, I'm not drinking and I just couldn't put myself to bed. And that's this year. I've gone through ebbs and flows of being good at going to bed earlier, trying to get up earlier and all that. And there's all kinds of different levers or levers, whichever way you say it, that you can pull to work on things. But that 5 o'clock craving isn't necessarily, we can focus on the 5 o'clock time, but it's also, what are we doing throughout our day that can help with that? Am I eating lunch at 11 or 12 o'clock and then not eating anything until I get home and at 5?
And you're actually just hangry by the time you get home?
Yeah. And so whereas if I, on the way home or a little bit mid-afternoon, if I ate something, would that kind of cut that craving a little bit? I'm not saying that's the answer, but again, it's just troubleshooting and thinking about that stuff. Yeah. Maybe I need more sleep.
Discovered recently that I didn't realize I was doing that's actually pretty awesome is particularly people with ADHD that are like dopamine miners. Like I'm pretty go in the morning when I've got a lot of dopamine. I exercise first thing in the morning, dopamine hit, great, love it. Now the morning, conquer the morning. And then I always take, not always, 98% of the time, I take my dog for a walk at lunchtime. So we get out, we get some sunshine. It's like a little 45-minute loop-de-loop that we do. Huh? Yeah, she heard the
shared walk, yeah.
Is that what you said, Ma? It's not lunchtime. She knows the same loop that we do every day, so she could walk herself if she wanted to. But so I'm getting out, I'm getting exercise at lunchtime. So halfway through my day, when that kind of morning dopamine exercise is starting to wane, I'm giving myself another little boost of dopamine exercise and all of those good endorphins jumping around my brain to get me through to the evening till it's wind down time. And I didn't realize that I was doing that, but that's actually a great technique for people with ADHD, or people, not just people with ADHD, but anyone.
Yeah.
Get out in the middle of the day and get some exercise outside if you can, get that sunshine and that fresh air and that kind of stuff. But maybe a little bit of movement, maybe a little bit of yoga or a little bit of something to break up the day to give you another little hit of feel-good chemicals in your brain. Yeah. I didn't realize that I was doing it, but that's like an actual thing that people recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Look at me go figuring out shit by myself. Yeah. That someone else has already figured out.
Yeah. Hey, have you You all
Have you guys
heard?
discovered? Yes, Em, we all learnt that years ago. Okay, cool.
And there's somebody listening to this because I've listened to these things and have said this, and great. Good for you, Emma. I can't do that. I don't have that luxury. I have this, I have that. And I can't go to bed any earlier. I have to work. I have, whether it's kids or just I don't want to or whatever. But what can you do? And that's the thing. It's like that's great, but we have to figure out what can we do. And it could be, maybe I can't go to bed earlier, but maybe I can start. Maybe I don't have to if I don't know, binge watching TV while I'm working. Maybe I can just focus on work for a little bit and then I'll get done quicker. I won't do that, but maybe I could. But it is those trade-offs that we have, and we think, oh, that's my time, or this, that, or the other thing, like that. And it's okay, but what can you do? It doesn't have to be this big thing. It could be like 5 minutes of movement. Like I started doing that at night before bed here recently. This app that has like nighttime before bed, like little moves just to
stretchy things,
loosen your body up a little bit more. And that's been great. It's actually been helping me sleep better.
Yeah, for a long time, I have the luxury of I can set my own lunch breaks and stuff, and I can take lunch breaks. But for a long time, I didn't feel like I could take lunch breaks. So I was so busy with work and whatever that I would sit in this chair in this spot from 8:30 till 5:30, and I would maybe get up to go to the toilet. Sometimes I would forget to do that as well. So I totally get that it's sometimes it's really hard. But I was screen sharing with a colleague one day, and she had on her like pinned toolbar on her Google whatever, on her Chrome, on her browser.
Yeah.
And it was like seated arm workout. And I was like, what's that? And so she showed me, it was a YouTube video so she'll sit there. And so then I started doing, and you do a little, yes, I have to be sitting here in this meeting, but I'm going to do like a little arm workout in my chair. I can't remember what it all was, like stretching and stuff. So you can get some movement into your day whilst you're sitting at your desk on a Zoom call. Yeah. If you have, there's ideal, and then there's what can I do? Yeah. What's the bare minimum? What's the ideal?
I built this stand-up desk out of a piece of wood and 4x4s for legs. Obviously, I'm sitting right now at it, but yeah, just what's the little things?
What can you do? Yeah.
That you can do. And I'm not saying like you have to add a whole bunch of little things, but it starts with just a little thing of addressing something with any of this. Yeah, because I've tried the overhaul everything kind of scenario, and
it's too much.
Typically does not work.
And I think that's where a lot of the times I'm looking at some of these questions, it's like, how do you handle slips and shame spirals? Yeah. And I keep slipping or I keep failing. Like what? And I think before I got alcohol free and I was trying to moderate or trying to cut back or trying to be alcohol free, but I kept slipping. And it was because I'd be like, okay, this month I'm going to be alcohol free and I'm going to exercise every single day and I'm going to walk the dog every single day and I'm going to only eat raw food and I'm going to get 8 hours sleep every night and I'm going to do all of the things all at once. And it was too much. And I would fail on one of them, which inevitably meant to a spiral of just throw the baby out with the bathwater and I'm done. Yeah, big old case of the fuckers. So yeah, I think let's just focus on one thing at a time. Like what is most important right now? If it's most important to cut back drinking, then let's focus on that. Screw the exercise, screw the
today,
yeah.
Just today. Let's
screw the exercise, screw the food, screw the I mean, they all help each other out. I shouldn't say screw it, but like exercising does help with your making you feel good and keeping your mood up. Sleep is always good for mental health and wellness and recovery.
And balancing out your blood sugars and things like that, and more protein can help with sugar cravings, and all of those things can.
But you know what?
Help.
If you live on ice cream, chocolate, chippies, and coffee for a month, but you're nailing being alcohol free, cool. Guess who did that? Actually, chatting to my therapist last week, and she's like, "How's the sleep going?" And I was like, "Oh, it hasn't been amazing." And she's, "Oh yeah, how's the diet going?" And I was like, "Yeah, I might be living off," because husband was away. He was working out of town with our youngest kid for the school holidays, so it was just me and the big kid at home. So we were just feral flatmates fending for ourselves for a week. And I was like, "Yeah, I have been living off ice cream and snacks for a week." She's like, "Okay, we might need to work on that a little." I was like, "Yeah, okay, good point."
Yeah.
So yeah, for a solid week, I think I lived on mainly ice cream. Oh, one thing the teenager can cook is apple crumble. Do you know what apple crumble is? Like stewed apples with like a crumbly oat topping.
Man, I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, add fresh
I
cream
think
on top.
Ange definitely likes that. Avery, I don't know if she does.
So yeah, we lived on ice cream and apple crumble for a week. It was great.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not as much of a fan of that. I ended up getting one of those glucose monitors last Friday, and I put it on.
Oh yeah.
And then I went to, it was the 4th, and I went to see F1 movie, and really good.
By yourself?
No, Ange and I went, and
Ange.
We got it. No, she loved it.
Oh really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess it's got Brad Pitt in it. Sorry, Kat.
Yeah.
Stop interrupting.
Yeah. No, hey. Love me some Brad Pitt. Fight Club's my favorite movie still to this day.
I still haven't seen it. I need to figure out where I can watch Fight Club. Oh, I know. Googling now. How do I watch Fight Club?
Yeah, daughter and I watched that around Thanksgiving. It was like every night. Wife was falling asleep on the couch every night, and I was like, "All right, what are we watching?" And it was just like the most, I don't know about the most inappropriate movies, but like me and my daughter watched really like Fight Club, Deadpool 2. I'm like, yeah, let's just go through. Let's just not tell mom that she's not waking up, so we're good.
Apparently it's on Disney Premium.
Oh, we got a large bucket of popcorn, which is fine, but I ate 75% of it versus her, and then just ate too much. The pizza and all that on Friday night, and I was like, all right, that's it. Saturday, I'm like, I'm doing Costco. I'm finally going to do this super fridge idea that they talk about in the book Tiny Habits, where, you meal prep and do all that. And I've been doing well for 3 weeks, like just focusing on what I've been doing, movement and diet, eating wise. And I'm like, let's go all in this week. I got this monitor. I tested it out on the first day and saw how high I can get with all the stuff I ate that night, which, whatever, it's data is how I look at it. So I'm not beating myself up. I'm not doing any of that. It's data. And what else? And now let's see I'm curious now. Like, I'm trying different things because I'm like, how does this impact it? How do I feel when I see that it's going up? But yeah, we did the whole Costco shop, and I meal prepped on Sunday, and it's been an interesting week. I've been eating a ton of fruit and all kinds of stuff, and it's almost like the super fridge thing is you can eat whatever you want in the fridge. Like, you just put stuff in it's one of the things, like designing, James Clear talks about designing your default, and it's my default at home could be my Swedish fish or whatever in the cabinet
energy drinks
for night energy. Okay, those are still there, but the default at home could be I could have alcohol there, or I can design the default where that's not there, and therefore my default is perhaps, what else do I have here besides an energy drink, a polar like sparkling water. You can put the things in place, or whether it's food or drink or just the way things are organized in your house, like if you want to read more, let's put some books around where I'm going to be sitting that I can read. Or if you want to journal, then put it by the coffee maker and pick it up in the morning, or that kind of stuff. But that's been helpful to be like, I can open up the fridge this week and anything in there I can grab. And that's it. Like, I can eat anything in there because I can eat as much as I want. And it almost takes away some of that guesswork. Have the steam fresh bags ready. Have the easy stuff. That's what we were working for.
Steam fresh bags. I haven't got those in a long time. I should. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. So easy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Off that
Sunday.
But I don't know how we got
Sunday. Emma, who goes to the grocery shop and is motivated for the week ahead, is not the same Emma as Monday afternoon.
What is it? I'm not
I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
Yeah, I'm pissed off at the person I was yesterday who decided that they didn't need snacks in the cabinet or whatever.
Every freaking week.
Yeah. But how do we get on that?
I don't know.
Okay. So getting back into the questions, like in this area of slips and how do I bounce back and feeling that shame, and that one of the questions that I wanted to bring up too was like, why do I keep breaking promises to myself? And there's a lot of talk about regret and the shame spiral even after a minor slip and things like that. But why do I keep breaking promises to myself? And I kind of chuckle because I think about myself and about how I would declare things. Or it was, I always like it to Michael Scott in The Office when he comes out and he's, I declare bankruptcy, thinking that's how you had to declare bankruptcy, and that's all I had to do, when there's a lot of other stuff that goes into that. No, but I would do that where I would set a goal, or I would make a promise. I am not going to do this anymore. And I just made that promise. I made that statement. And then I felt bad when I did the thing. But what I should have been doing was, who cares about promises? So you can correct me on this. Maybe I stopped making promises to myself. And that sounds bad, but when I stopped thinking about it, I have this goal and I have to make this promise and I have to do this thing like this, set this expectation, and just focused on, okay, what can I do today? What can I do today to work on this, whatever this is? How do I need to change something up from yesterday? Like, I'm feeling regret from drinking the night before. How can I use that today? What did I do last night? Look at it and say, okay, what could I have done differently there? Regret is, I think, a fairly useless feeling, except for what it can tell us. Yeah. When I regret something, like, I can't go back and do that. I can apologize for things. I can do all that kind of stuff. But when I regret something and it's just like something I did and it just affects me and things like that, okay, but how can I use that? And I'm not going to be perfect. And I think that's where we get into a lot with these shame spirals. And why do I keep breaking these promises to myself? Because I would set promises that weren't maybe in the realm of where I was at that point.
Yeah, in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I didn't think through them either. Yeah, I would say I'm not going to drink today. And by the nighttime I did. But what did I do to change that? Sometimes I did some things and tried new things to change that. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I just said, I'm not going to drink, as my promise to myself. But it wasn't until I started, okay, what else can I do? Whenever I want to drink, how do I change that? Do I send a message to my therapist and type that out? If I had Reframe, do I hop on a meeting? Do I go to the forum? Do I connect with a friend? Do I read something? Do I go outside with the dog for a walk? And we're never going to be perfect. So I do think, I don't know, I have a problem with this thought of, I broke a promise to myself, because I feel like, and this is more of I have a problem with it because I feel like I did that. I'm not coming at this from the perspective of the person who might have asked the question like this. I don't feel it's helpful to promise myself something.
I think maybe it just needs a tweak. Sure, I'm going to promise that I'm not going to drink this month. Okay, cool. But how are you going to do that? I think the promise needs, or the goal needs, backup. You can't just make this blanket statement, I'm not going to drink this week or this month, or I'm not going to eat sugar this month. Okay, but what are you going to eat? How are you going to do it? How are you going to achieve that goal? How are you going to keep that promise? Because just saying it and then not backing it up with support and any thought around it is, you are likely to slip. But also thinking about, is that goal actually attainable? Is that promise achievable for you right now? If I said in the beginning of my journey, if I said, I'm going to be alcohol free, I'm never going to drink again on day 0 of my journey, was that goal achievable? Probably not at that time. Was it realistic? No, I don't think it was. But
what was the goal that you just said?
I'm never going to drink again.
I'm never going to drink again.
Yeah.
So
that was
just saying that and you said, was that achievable then, attainable then? And that's the thing. It's like, no, because all I can do is what's here today. I can't be alcohol free for the rest of my life right now.
I think I can set that goal now, probably.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to set that goal now, but
yeah,
I think it's about, being realistic with where you're at. So if maybe your goal is, I'm not going to drink today, or I'm not going to drink this week, or I'm not going to drink this weekend. And realizing where you're at, what are you currently doing, and what's a little bit of a challenge. Not like the world's, you don't say, I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow and go and run a marathon. You could try.
Yeah.
No, you set yourself little goals. You're like, okay.
I did that with a 10-miler. It did not end well.
It didn't end well. Set yourself, I want to run a marathon, but no, that's in a year's time. So what is my goal this week then? Okay, so I need to run 5K, and then I need to run 7K, and then I need to, I don't know, stretch, whatever, physio, whatever it is. But you've got to break that big goal down into little achievable goals and realize where you're at, because I couldn't run a marathon. Like, I'm fit, but I'm not running a marathon. My hips would die. So why do I keep breaking promises to myself? Let's reassess the promise. Let's figure out whether it's appropriate, possible, and how are you going to back it up? How are you going to achieve it?
Yeah.
Is my thoughts.
Yeah.
But also, I have no self-control. Like you, I can make a promise to myself that I'm not going to eat candy this week. And as soon as I sniff out some of the kids' Halloween candy, I'm like, sugar monster.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You just wanted that one?
Yeah. Can we hear what the sugar monster sounds like here? Now, what you're hearing, folks, is
the sugar monster
native to the New Zealand region of the globe.
In July, when Halloween was 10 months ago,
dreaming
and the candy's, you know how candy goes like soggy after a while, but when you're really craving
or rock hard, depending on what kind of candy it is. Yeah. That's
what kind of self-controlled and addict I am, my friends. Doesn't matter. It's sugar.
Yeah, I think of I can't stop thinking of the sugar monster, but I think about I like the line in Atomic Habits where we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. Meaning our goal, we can say whatever we want. And I'm good. I've always been good at saying what I want to do, and bad about breaking it down into something that I can just achieve now and not be good at. And when I say achieve, I remember doing I should pull this out again for the men's meeting tomorrow, but I did a whole men's meeting topic on what do you need to suck at? Because I think that's what we don't like, and we don't want to suck at stuff. We don't want to be bad at something. We don't want to struggle with a new tool or something that someone told us, oh, you should try this. Yeah, no, I gotta, it's like me. Like I used to be like, nah, I can't. I want to join the gym, but I got to get in shape first and then I'll join the gym. Was my old way of thinking. Now I just don't go to the gym. I just go out for a walk. But it's like that type of thinking that I have to just know how to do this right away. And I'm not giving myself any time at all to learn versus looking at what are my systems? What are my habits? What are my routines right now? And those are, to use a term we already used, those are well trodden, right? To go off the beaten path and change something with those takes time and work. You're going to have to suck it. You're going to have to slog through the high grass to make that path. And how do we give ourselves time to do that? Is maybe I should, and that's could be part of it, is maybe I need to promise myself that it's okay if I don't get this right away. It's okay. I promise it's okay if I am not good at this right now. It's okay if it takes me a while to figure this out.
So that kind of leads into, for me, in my head, this leads into the next question or the next comment of I go into a shame spiral even after a minor slip. And I think that's part of if you've promised yourself that you're not going to drink, but you do slip, you have a drink, what How do you stop that shame spiral? And I think it's part of it is giving yourself a bit of permission or realization that this is hard. This is a journey. It's okay to have slips, but we want to be learning from them. We want to be looking at why did it happen? Where's the clink in my armor? Where's the clink in my armor? Chink in my armor.
Chink.
What's that?
Yeah.
Chink? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I actually, I remember I shared that in a meeting recently where I remember messaging my therapist early on and being like, I was feeling good. And I just said something about, I feel like I got a hole in my armor fell off or whatever. And I remember coming back, put your armor back on. It's fine. It's going to be, it's there for a reason to take a blow and to get hit, and you're okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry.
Squirrel. But like, if you have a slip, it's okay. And it's okay to feel that kind of shame or regret or embarrassment or that, oh, for fuck's sakes moment of, oh, I've done it again, or it's okay to feel that. But what we want to be doing is thinking, okay, where's the weak link? What was it about that slip? Why was it that I've still got alcohol in the house? Was it that I actually didn't prepare with food? Was it that it was the perfect storm of all of this shit going wrong all at once and I just couldn't handle it? Think about it. It's okay to have a slip. What's amazing is when you catch yourself in that slip and you pull yourself up on it and go, no, we're not going to do this again. A slip, in my mind, and everyone's terminology is a little bit different, but in my mind, a slip is like maybe a one drink or a day of drinking, like a bit of a small drinking slip, whereas a relapse is like a decent chunk of time where you've just gone straight back into those old drinking habits. So let's pick up on a slip before we head into a full-on relapse. That's how my brain works with that terminology. Everyone thinks of things a little bit differently. But yeah, giving yourself grace when you have a slip, but not a pass, so that it turns into a relapse, is how I think about it.
Yeah. And I think, again, this terminology is, I think it's very individual. You can define it all you want, but relapse is, I feel like I'm not making changes in advance, and I feel like something's coming. I start to not do the things that are helping me. I start to go back into my old ways, and then it happens. Versus a slip, I feel I'm good, I'm confident, I'm doing things, and something comes out of nowhere and just surprises me, where I have examples of it in my own life too, but for the sake of time, I won't go down those roads. But yeah, excuse me, the difference between giving yourself grace and giving yourself a pass was, one of the questions too. And it's a fine line, right? It's because anytime I talk about in meetings slips, I always give the caveats. Okay, just because we are talking about this doesn't mean that I'm giving you a pass, to slip, but it is acknowledging that this is difficult and we aren't going to be perfect ever. I don't want to say ever, but over the course of time, we aren't going to be perfect from when we start or we say we start to whenever. And so I always think, if it happened already, give yourself grace. If it didn't, make sure you're not giving yourself grace in advance. Like, challenge it. It's tough. It's hard, right? That's easy to say, not to do.
Yeah, maybe giving yourself a pass, if I'm thinking about the language, is more like, giving yourself grace in advance is giving yourself a bit of a pass. But maybe that's part of your journey, if that fits in with your goals of maybe you're mindfully moderating rather than cutting back completely or going completely alcohol-free. Maybe your pass is planned out in advance of, I have this event, I will drink 2 drinks, 3 drinks at this event. Maybe that's your pass. Then I guess reflecting on that pass after the event, did you stick to that goal? Did you stick to that pass? Did you completely blow through it, which I would have done? And just reflecting. I'm big about reflecting and being curious.
I think it's important. I think we too easily move on and don't reflect in general, in anything with our life. No, everybody's different and people can have this in place and all that. But I think we need more reflection in general. So therefore, I think that's a good thing whenever we stop and take a look back at what happened or how did that go? Did it go poorly? Why? What could I have done different? Did it go well? Why? What did I do that was good? I like that you talked about you're like looking for the weak link in the chain. And it made me think of, I busted out the Tiny Habits book, and he talks about the ability chain and looking for the ability chain is only as strong as its weakest ability, little factor link. And the factors are like time, money, physical effort, mental effort, routine. And this is creating behaviors and stopping behaviors. But like thinking about these, where's the weak link that I can fix whenever I'm trying to change something? But whenever I'm trying to stop something, there's some strong links that we're talking about neural pathways, trodden paths. Now we're going to go with strong links of the chain. And we sometimes try and attack the strongest, biggest link in the chain first. And I think that that's great, but like where's the low hanging fruit, as I always say, like that you can just grab and change. This is just a general question. We're not talking about something specific, so I'm not even gonna give examples, but whenever we're looking at the biggest, ugliest knot in this whole ball of knots, or the biggest, ugliest link in this chain, why don't we start with one of the weaker links of the chain that we can tackle first and focus on that versus, and that kind of could be like, you could look at it as just like, all right, let's tackle something simple here versus going to a black tie event that you're going to later this year. Maybe focusing on those types of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I definitely had to tackle some smaller events before I could go to a black tie event, alcohol free, for sure. Yeah, last year I had COVID at the annual award ceremony, so I didn't go, which was a bummer because I had a great dress. But then my daughter ended up wearing it to her high school ball, so dress well bought.
There we go.
Nailed it. But the year before, the black tie event was at a vineyard, and I was about 4, maybe 5 months alcohol free.
Right.
And that was a big challenge. I did it, but that was huge. But I didn't go from, I wasn't 1 week alcohol free trying to do that. I had a lot of experience. I'd had a lot of slips. I'd been cracking at that, trying this journey for probably a year by that point. There had been a lot of events where I slipped. There had been a lot of relapses, but then there'd been a lot of events where I had white knuckled through it, reflected on it, figured out how I did it, what I'm going to do, make a plan. I'm very lucky that I have a very supportive husband, partner, family. All of them are very supportive, which makes it easier when I'm going to an event. And they know that this could be a struggle for me. Now, it's not now, but they also know, my husband particularly knows that he's my wingman. And I'm going to turn to him if I do need a little bit of support. And he knows that he won't offer me an alcoholic drink. He will say, do you want a drink? Would you like a soda water, or would you like a Coke? He'll offer me the non-alcoholic options rather than what drink would you like. He's my wingman, which is amazing. So yeah, getting through a social event with a wing person, some kind of support, some kind of plan is important.
Yeah. And not everybody has that, and that's tough.
No.
That's
I'm very blessed to have a supportive partner. I get that, because some people don't. How do you? Because Ange, your wife, drinks a little bit sometimes. No,
not really.
Not really.
I don't think she's had any alcoholic beverages this year, and maybe not last either. Because I used to say I can count on one hand how many drinks she has in a year, and I don't. Maybe one this year. Maybe on vacation I got her one of the fancy. Actually, I was getting myself the fancy daiquiri thing they had there, without alcohol in it, and hey, tasty. But no, I was gonna say there. But yeah, so no, she is supportive from that perspective, but she also doesn't. She doesn't understand too. I might have shared this on podcast before, but I remember the one time we were going over to my brother's pool it was like summer get together, bunch of people going to be there. I don't know if it was a holiday or anything, but I was sitting there, okay, who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? I was asking her, and I'm like, all right, I've seen them before. They know what I'm doing. This person doesn't. All right, I'm going to bring my Yeti can holder so that nobody bothers me. And she made a comment like, see, now you know how I felt all these years whenever I didn't want to drink and everybody kept asking me if I wanted to drink. And I'm like, I was like, I appreciate the sentiment, but there's one key difference. It is I want to drink. Not that day, not then, but it's like I want that drink, that feeling. And so just to say it like that, it helped her understand too a little bit of the difference. I didn't say it in a way that was like shut her down. Yeah, but I wanted to drink. And it was that it hit me like, yes, I appreciate you making that connection, but it was easy for her to say no because she didn't want it. I'm fine with my Diet Coke. Stop bothering me.
For her, it was more perhaps annoying that people were pestering her, whereas
for me,
us, it's
I really want that. Stop bothering me.
Yeah. It's not so much annoying. It's you're making this harder. You're making this hard work for me. Yeah. So great segue, Em. Well done.
I know. That's what I was
we
thinking.
get asked, natural segue. We get asked a lot things like how to be alcohol free around a partner who drinks a lot. My partner's drinking heavily. What do I do? How do I navigate relationships where one person is still drinking, or perhaps one person's not supportive of your partner's not supportive, or your friends aren't supportive of your alcohol-free journey? That was a lot of questions all in one, and I think shouldn't have lumped them all into relationships.
Yeah.
But I think in the beginning, I was very much, I'm doing this on my own. I do not expect my partner to do this with me, my husband to do this with me. He doesn't have a complicated relationship with alcohol. He can take it or leave it, and that's amazing for him. So I have never told him that he has to be alcohol free. This is in the beginning, it was very much, this is my journey and I'm doing this by myself. I'm doing this for me. This is my journey. And in the beginning, I said, it's okay. Like, the wine bottles are there. That's fine. You still drink. You do you. The beer is in the fridge. That's okay. You do you. And then eventually it was like, you know what? It's really freaking hard when you crack open a bottle of our favorite wine and drink it. This is too hard. Can you please not do that? And so I had to open up to him and include him in this journey a little bit.
Yeah.
And he thankfully was supportive. But yeah, I had to bring him into this journey a little bit for me so that he could be supportive, because he had no idea what I was going through. He had no idea that it was really hard when he opened that bottle of wine and so my tip there is talk about it. As hard as it is, talk about it. Bring them into it. Talk to them about Reframe in the meetings, not the content of the meeting, not what people are saying, but just how important they are to you. Talk about the daily tasks that we're doing, talk about the forum, talk about the things that you're learning about yourself. Bring them into this experience with you as much as you can, or as much as feels comfortable. At one point, my husband wondered if I was having an affair because I was on my phone so much.
Yeah, I was going to say that, watching, because we've heard that a lot, right? And you've seen that firsthand.
I was constantly on my phone. I was constantly messaging Reframers. I've got an amazing support group, and we still constantly message. And at one point, I think he said, Reframe's ruining our marriage. And I was like, I don't know how to Reframe saving my life. So reconcile that. And it was like, okay, I need to bring him in so that he can see. So it's not this secret little thing that I'm doing on my phone secretly.
Did he know the extent of how you were feeling when you were drinking?
So he knew, like he knew, he saw my drinking was ramping up. He saw that I was drinking heavily. He would be like, I'm pretty sure we bought that bottle of gin on the weekend and it's already gone and it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
He saw my mental health deteriorate to the point where I was suicidal, and I would drink a bottle of spirits by myself. And so he knew it was bad. He knew there needed to be change.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knew that the change that was actually needed I don't think he realized that I couldn't moderate. I don't think he knew that the change that needed to happen was I needed to be alcohol free. So
Yeah.
when I started Reframe, I think he thought it was like a month reset. I'll be alcohol free for a month, just reset, bit of a detox,
Yeah.
good to go. I don't think he realized that this is where my journey was headed. And I don't know that he realized how hard it was for me, because we've done challenges with the gym, like a 6-week challenge where we're trying to lose the most weight, gain the most muscle, and we'd give up alcohol for a month together. And we would do it together, and that was okay.
Yeah.
And I think he found it a lot easier than I did. And I don't know that he knew how hard I was finding it.
Yeah.
But
And I just ask because I wonder if that could be part of people's problem is, okay, your partner, whoever, doesn't know how, much it was impacting you or is impacting you yourself, like your own drinking, as well as theirs. If that's the case, if you're working on cutting back, cutting out, and yeah, because as I have my boys get sad too shirt on, I have to wear this now to remind myself or to let other people know, because I'm the type of person who would be like, I'm fine, I'm good. And so people didn't know like how bad. They might know like maybe my drinking was, I was drinking a lot, but I don't know that I'm comfortable saying that nobody, even my wife, knew how bad it was up here in my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the internal anguish that you're going
Yeah.
through is I don't think anyone can ever fully know what it's like. But I think, yeah, talking about it, try and bring that spouse in as best you can. Let them know what you're doing, why you're doing it. Let them know the things that you're learning, the daily tasks that you're going through. If you can, communicate your boundaries. Like in the beginning, my boundary was it's okay to have the wine in the house and the beer in the fridge, and that's totally fine. And then I was like, you know what? Can you put those beers in the neighbor's fridge? The neighbors have a garage with games and stuff that he goes and plays in the neighbor's garage. And he's, yep, I can put it in the neighbor's fridge, not a problem.
Yep.
And then he went on holidays for a couple of weeks. He went overseas for a couple of weeks to visit family, and there was a lot of alcohol in the house, a lot of duty-free bottles of all sorts. And I bagged it all up and I took it over to the neighbors, and I was like, can you just look after this for a couple of weeks? And he was like, yep, not a problem. Bless my neighbors who support me, bless my husband who supports me.
Yeah.
But yeah, setting those boundaries. And then after I took all of that alcohol from over to the neighbors, it didn't come back into the house. And so that's, I guess setting that boundary of, I think there is some alcohol in the house somewhere. I don't know where, I don't look for it. And I could be okay with it now, but it's just easier to not have it in the house. But communicating that to your partner, and I know communicating is so hard sometimes, and sometimes you don't even know what words to use, but in whatever way you can. And bringing them into the loop on this journey is so important.
Yeah.
So that it's not, why are you on your phone all the time? Who are you talking to?
Yeah. I didn't have Reframe, but I was on Instagram all the time, DMing all my friends and around the world who I connected with. And my screen time shot up with that. And I had to, let my wife know, you on Instagram again? And I'm like, yeah.
Yes, because this is how I'm getting support.
Yeah,
this is
who I'm
right
talking
now.
to. And here, follow them. Like, they know more about you than you probably want them to know. They already love you. Like, just go talk to them. But in that question, too, of whether they're drinking heavily or they're not supportive, should I break up with them? That's unfortunately could be a result of some of these things. We've seen it. And I'm not saying that's what it should be or that we should go to. If someone isn't supportive of it, obviously we haven't gone through this ourselves. Whether somebody is just like totally against the other person stopping or cutting back, or feels resentment towards them because they themselves maybe feel like they should do it and they can't, or they don't want to, or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons there. And that's where talking about it, it's where kind of setting those boundaries, couples counseling, bringing other people in could be helpful. And sometimes, maybe this, I don't know, it's, you can't answer that question. Obviously, I would never tell anybody, you should.
No, and it's, every relationship is different, right? And it depends on how important, like,
Think about a friend who you're best friends with and you're always hanging out with, and you can drift apart from them
Mm,
because I'm not doing this thing that we always did before and they haven't
mm.
adjusted, or we haven't found a common ground to
Mm.
connect with anymore. From maybe a less, what's the word I'm looking for?
Spousal,
Yeah, less it's all
intimate
in,
standpoint.
or
I don't know.
like heavy, and I'm cutting this out, but heavy,
Deep.
or
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, like maybe from a less deep perspective, more shallow perspective. No, from a deeper perspective with with a deeper connection
mm.
that you can have with obviously a partner or spouse, whatever.
Actually, that's something that I worked through with my therapist when I first quit drinking alcohol, because husband and I did feel so disconnected for quite a while, because we would every night share a bowl of wine,
Mm,
and watch TV or whatever. What husband just knows that I would resent every time he poured more
yeah.
from the bottle, because that meant it was less for me. But that's a side tangent. But my therapist worked with me on, okay, so how are you guys going to connect now
Yeah.
without alcohol? Like, what are some other things that you can do? Can you still watch TV but with a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Can you still, like, were you sitting down enjoying the wine? Was it about the wine? No, it wasn't about the wine. It was, I don't know, the wine was just there. So we ended up deciding that, husband and I decided that we would watch a series together and have a cup of tea and sit down, and we ended up binge watching Ted Lasso, and it was
Yeah. Love
so
that
good
show.
to have this. Yeah, we would have Ted Lasso. We'd almost be like trying to rush the kids to bed so that we could put Ted Lasso on so we could watch
Yeah.
it and spend some time together. And that had nothing to do with the wine. We still connected. We got to
Yeah.
spend time together, have a laugh, feel good. But it was, yeah, finding how do we navigate this new phase of our relationship together. Yeah.
And yeah. And yeah, that made me think of one of my favorite lines that I hear. Oh, we're never gonna get drinks together anymore. So what? I'm like, I can get drinks. I got,
Mm.
I got all,
I got other drinks.
I
What are you
got
talking
all the
about?
drinks. It doesn't have to be like, what are we doing when we get drinks? If we just go and have a
Yeah,
couple
what's the
beers,
activity?
I can still have a couple NA beers with you, and we can
Mm.
connect and talk.
We could chat,
Like, we
hang
don't have
out.
to
We could,
be
yeah.
on the same. But if it could be, they don't want to do that because then I'm not on the same level as them,
Mm.
or whatever, however you want to say that. And so the other person could have issue with it that you can't even control, right? So it's no, like, we can still get together and do stuff. It might be a little different. We might not go to that bar we always went to. Maybe we go to the coffee shop.
Mm.
Maybe I go to
Mm.
your house or you go to mine or whatever. But, or if it's partners living in the same space, okay, we can still, right now, I'm fine with you having you drinking that glass, maybe put it in a tumbler or so that I can't
Mm.
see it, or pour it out of my
Mm.
view. So for now, and I'll have my whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think also that brought up for me, like, that sometimes we lose, or we feel like we're losing friendships because our friends don't want to invite us out, because they're like, oh no, we can't invite Emma out
Yeah.
because she doesn't drink anymore, so we won't invite her to this bar, club, event, whatever it is, because she's not drinking. And they think it'd be rude to invite you because it might be triggering for
Yeah.
you. And that may be the case.
Best intentions.
Yeah,
Right?
but I think it's important, and I think the onus is on us to communicate with our friends. I still want to be invited to these
Yeah.
things, and if I feel strong enough that I can come to it, or if I want to come to it, then I will come to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
if that feels good for you. So for me, it would be keep inviting me, and I'll
Yeah.
come if I want to come. Don't feel like the invitation is the trigger. That's not the trigger, and I still want to be included in these events. Don't feel like you have to exclude me because this is my journey. But that's how
Yeah.
I feel. That may not be how you feel.
Yeah.
But
And
communicate that to your friends. Maybe it's,
yeah.
please do not invite me to any events for the next month.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Because I
because
don't
like
want
for
that
me, it
trigger.
was like, please invite me, because I found that once, like, somebody didn't invite me to something. I was like, no. I'm like, guys, please invite me. I will let you know if it's something that I'm not comfortable with at the time, but I would appreciate if you did that. I could have said, but if you go here, do not
Don't
invite
invite
me,
me. Yeah.
because I will want to come, and I'm not, that's not what I'm ready for right now. So you can be specific too. Give them a list. Send them a menu of the places that they can invite you to and not invite you to. But no, but
Send
seriously,
them
like,
send them a spreadsheet of what your life is like.
so just letting people know takes away the guesswork. So don't feel bad that they left me out, because some people just have your best intentions at heart, because they're like, oh, I don't know if you'll be okay with that or not. So it's up to us to tell them, yes, I'm okay with that. But as long as you're okay with, maybe I won't come, but keep inviting me and don't feel bad about it. It's nothing against you. It's just where I'm at the time.
Yeah, and it's about communicating that to your friends. And I don't know, maybe there's some friends you don't want to hang out with because it's too triggering. Maybe there's some friends that you do want to hang out with. I don't know. But yeah, I've had the same experience where a friend was like, oh, we should catch up for a drink, or like something else. And I was like, we can go for a drink. I'll be drinking alcohol-free something, but we can go for a drink. I still drink liquids, just they don't have alcohol in them.
Yeah, all right.
Alrighty, friends. I think we have I don't know if we answered many questions at all, but I think we've talked for a decent amount of time.
Not lumped a
We
lot of them
lumped questions
together,
together.
but
we talked around them. Maybe we didn't do any quick fight. Maybe next time we do quick fight question. I don't know. Know. Send us an email and tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Anywho, so finishing with the nugget of the week. Like, what did we learn this week? Something completely off topic, not necessarily sobriety related, that we always struggle to. It's like it's a surprise every week for us about what did I learn this week? It's as if we don't know that this is coming. But I do have a nugget this week because I learned something. To be fair, it's something that I already knew. You can still get. I had to relearn, and I'm relearning it the hard way. You can still get sore muscles from working out, even if you've been working out for years. If you push it too hard, you can still get sore muscles. So Monday at the gym was lower body or leg day. Then it was a cardio day, but there was lots of leg stuff in the cardio workout. And then it was arm day, so my legs got a little rest. And then there was another cardio day, and it was like box jumps and med ball slams and squat jumps. And now Emma struggles to walk. I'm doing the John Wayne walk where you're like I'm just got off a horse. My legs. So I was reminded this week that if you push yourself too hard repeatedly, you can still get sore. But it's a good sore. As much as it's uncomfortable and I get somewhat terrified walking downstairs or going to the toilet, it's still a good sore because I'm like, yeah, get strong muscles, strong legs.
Get strong.
Get Carrie Underwood legs.
There you go. It's a goal of mine always.
Yeah, you want Carrie Underwood? There's this rugby player, South African rugby player. He doesn't play anymore. I think he's retired. Oh my gosh, his name's completely gone out of my head. There's this South African rugby player. I don't know if he's retired, but Fafleklerk. He's the number 8. No, he's not the number 8. No, number 10?
Nobody knows, so just
go with it.
Nobody.
He's the halfback, and he's got amazing legs. He's also got amazing hair. But yeah, Fafleklerk. I think it's Fafleklerk. South African name. Anyway, so for a long time it was legs like Faf.
I'm just going to use that. That's my nugget for the week. What I learned.
What did I learn? Fafleklerk as a rugby player.
Without even knowing it, without even seeing, sight unseen, I want legs like Fafleklerk.
Yeah. He's like great, strong, muscular legs, great flexibility. He can do like a Cossack squat, like ass to grass Cossack squat. Flexibility, strength, legs like Faf. Legs like Carrie Underwood.
Thanks for the ass to grass. Oh, what kind of squat is that? Oh, okay. Got it. No demonstration needed.
A Cossack squat. You know when you've got one leg out and you... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to Google to make sure I got that right.
Isn't that a pistol squat?
Fafdeklerk. 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 Yep.
My nugget for this week is I'm going to go look that up, and I'm just going to walk around tonight with my ADHD saying Fafdeklerk.
Vocal stimming.
Yeah.
Your poor wife.
Angie's going to be like, what the hell are you saying?
Sorry, Ange.
Yeah. I had to send her something the other day of that it was some meme about that ADHD need that when you've been quiet or when you for too long and you just need to shout something out, because that's her life with my daughter and I. We are the worst. She's like, I just can't with you two. Yeah.
Yeah. Just out of the blue, completely random.
Oh yeah. Can't help myself. I, of course, like you said, I don't have a nugget. I will give how about a book recommendation for the week?
Okay.
This is my nugget for the week because I finished it earlier this week or weekend. I can't remember when. I've been reading it for a while, but I've been reading it like not every day, almost every day, but it's a Meditations for Mortals by Oliver Burkeman. 4 weeks to embrace your limitations and make time for what counts. I loved his book 4,000 Weeks and got this, and it's 4 weeks, so it's like the chapters are day 1, day 2, day 3, and the weeks are grouped in a way that makes sense. I can't remember like the different weeks,
theme.
what they are. Yeah, thank you. A way that makes sense, also known as a theme, which is the word I was searching for. But no, I liked. I'm already going to start to reread through it tomorrow and take more notes on it because it's I've used a lot of the days for meeting topics and things like that. Check it out. Meditations for Mortals. I have no affiliation with him,
just a good book.
Yeah, it's just one of those books that is on my short stack over here within arm's reach always.
Okay, Googling now. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we want to know what's on the short stack? Do you want that to be the nugget? What's the
short stack of books you're reading at the moment?
What made the list versus all the other books down below me or in my house?
Piled around you.
Let's see. We got Tiny Habits, which I took out earlier. Atomic Habits. The One Thing. The Power of Now. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Mindset. Chop Wood, Carry Water. 4,000 Weeks. The Power of Habit. The Bullet Journal Method. And Man's Search for Meaning. That's
like an insight into your brain.
Oh, yeah. Like I go on ChatGPT and I made up a project area and I listed those books out. And I'm like, as a way to, if I ask you a question about what can I use for a topic for today or something like that, these are the things that I usually think about. Give me ideas based on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should say the Daily Stoic too, but that's downstairs in Warren. I probably read through that 7 times already.
Read?
Oh yeah, these have already been read. The Daily Stoic is constantly being read for the last 6 years.
Trodden path.
It is. I know, and I dropped it the one day, and the front cover it ripped a little, and it almost ripped completely off, and I'm so sad. Like it was
pull it back together.
Nice, and that was going to be like, when I die, make sure Avery gets my Daily Stoic book.
Family heirloom.
I don't think it's going to be that. Hold up that much. It's not like leather bound or anything. I'll count that as my nugget.
Good nugget. I'll accept.
Yeah, I like books like that. That it's just okay. No pressure. I'm just gonna the chapters are like 3 or 4 pages, so nothing too. It's not nothing unmanageable.
Not onerous to read.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the Reframeable podcast, brought to you by the Reframe app. Reframe is the #1 iOS and Android app to help you cut back or quit drinking alcohol. It uses neuroscience to reframe your relationship with alcohol and unlock the healthiest, happiest you. If you're enjoying this podcast, please like, subscribe, and share with those that you feel may benefit from it. And I want to thank you again for listening, and be sure to come back for another episode. Have a great day.
Bye, friends.